Today we're going to be taking a first look at and reviewing the Marin Presidio 3. This might just be one of the best budget all-weather commuting bikes that I've ever experienced and test ridden on this channel. This bike retails for just a little bit over $1,000 and comes equipped with a Gates carbon belt drive, which is amazing to see. Traditionally, those used to only come on more expensive bike build options, and now we're starting to get some more budget-friendly carbon belt drive commuting bike options. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at all the specs, everything on this bike, and take it for a quick little test ride. We're joined here with my wife, Tuanshan. We're going to be having her test out the bike to get her impressions. We've only ridden one belt drive bike before, and that was a few years ago, so I'm excited to get her opinion on the bike. So we're actually borrowing this bike from a buddy of ours, Eli The Bike Guy, another YouTuber based here in Da Nang, Vietnam. So big thanks to him for lending us this bike. He just bought it, so he's only ridden it once. This is basically brand new out of the box. So let's take a full look at all the specs, and then we're gonna go for a test ride. So let's go ahead and start.
Let's go.
Let's go. So one of the best things about this bike is the value. Retail price is just a little bit over $1,000, and everything in this video is going to be stock minus the rack. That's just one addition that he added to the bike. But one of the main selling points of this bike, I believe, is the Gates carbon belt drive. Getting bikes with this included used to be really expensive, so it's nice to see some cheaper options coming onto the market. For those who don't know what a carbon belt drive is, it's basically an alternative style of drive chain system to a chain. And the advantages of this system is it's very simple, very easy to use. You never have to do any maintenance. It rides in any conditions, so in snow, in mud, whatever. You never need to really clean this, and it works. So that's why it's one of the most reliable solutions for a bike commuter. One of the things I hate with my bike is having to lube my chain, clean my chain, and this you don't need to worry about it. It just works, and that's what you want when you have a commuting bike. You just want to get on your bike and go to work. So to make this system work, you actually need a special type of frame. You'll notice that we got this removable section here, and that's because you can't break this belt. Unlike a chain, which can break apart and reattach, this belt can never be broken. So they actually make a break point in the frame, so if you need to put on a new belt, you can attach it through this there. So you do need a special type of frame to be able to work with this system, and this frame was designed for that. And speaking of the frame, let's look at everything here. So we got the Marin logo here. Marin is a bike company based out of Northern California, and we got the model name up here. This is the Presidio 3. I was told that all of the model names for the Marin bikes are different towns or parts of the Marin County in California, so that's cool. Interesting little fact there. And we got a decent amount of clearance on the back for the rear tires. These are stocked with 40 tires, and you can see we still got plenty of clearance back here on the back side. We've also got an extra mount here for some fenders, and they've also got some mounts here behind the seat post area for the rack, which did not come included with the bike. That was an addition that Eli put on the bike. The frame also has the mounting option for the bottom of the rack here in the back section there. We've also got some other information about the frame here. So Series 2 aluminum, and also these are made in Indonesia, so not too far from where we are here in Vietnam right now. On the back here, we've got the Marin logo, so they got the California bear, and I believe 86 is the year that Marin Bikes was released. I'm not sure if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. This is a size M bike, and we've also got some Marin branded components here. So we've got the seat post clamp and the seat post, which are Marin branded. I'm actually not sure what saddle this is, but I'm assuming, actually never mind, it is a Marin branded saddle. We've got another bear logo here on the front of the bike. And another nice feature about this frame, we've got some internal cable routing here, so nice and easy to access, entering from the front of the bike, going all the way down to the bottom here. I think that's pretty common now on a lot of modern style hybrid bikes. And with the front clearance here, it looks like we still got plenty of clearance on this bike. And on the front fork, we've got some extra mounting options here as well. For the tires, we've got some City Cruise tires. These are 700 by 40C, and still plenty of room for clearance on these bikes in both the front and back. I'm not sure what the exact limit is though. It looks like the wheel rims are also Marin branded. We've got quick release for the front wheel. Another nice thing with this bike is we've got some Shimano hydraulic disc brakes, so some nice quality disc brakes there. And let's do a bell test. Very nice. These are the standard grips that it comes with, also Marin branded. And for the shifting, we've only got rear shifting on this bike. It's using a micro shift system, an 8-gear shifting system. This is my first time trying the trigger shifting with micro shift, so I'm pretty excited to test it out. And because this bike uses an internal hub shifter, it's not using a rear derailleur, you need to shift this while you're not pedaling the bike. So for anyone who's never used internal hub bikes before, that's important that you never shift while you're pedaling. So it's the exact opposite of a normal bike with the rear derailleur. You never want to pedal while shifting. So that's the cool thing about this bike, is if you forget to downshift before you finish your ride and you start again, you can easily do that. But one odd thing is the shifting is reversed. Normally the thumb here would go down to an easier gear, but you'll notice that it's pushing me to a higher gear. And that's just because the cable works differently with an internal hub system. So right now we're in the smallest gear, and when I push the thumb lever, you'll see it's pulling the cable and it's adjusting the gear right there. So because the internal gear system is different than an outside rear derailleur system, that's why the numbers are different going up and down. But it's pretty easy to get used to once you use it a few times. All right, that's enough for the bike review. Let's go ahead and start the ride test. We've got Tunchan here, ready to take it out for a little test ride.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here we go. So this bike is a size M. Tung's about 5'6", so perfect size for her. Woo! And this is our hybrid bike that we rode over here. So we've been getting some new bags coming in the mail. We'll be doing a review on them on our channel here coming up pretty soon. We got a bunch of new bags. We're testing them out for our upcoming bike packing trip, so we're excited for that. So I'll show you guys more about that in an upcoming video. This bike is a size L though, so I'm curious to see what Tung thinks about the slightly smaller frame size, the size M, which is probably better for her. All right, she's been riding a few minutes. So what's your first impression?
The belt a little heavy, I feel.
The belt's a little heavy,
Yeah.
so it's a little harder to rotate.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with belt drive bikes myself, but this might be a little too tight, so I'm wondering if loosening that up would improve that. But I do know that you do lose a little bit of efficiency when switching to a belt drive versus using a traditional chain. How does the size feel?
Yeah, comfortable for me.
Good size?
Yeah, good size.
Our bike over here is size large. This bike size M.
Yeah,
Which do you like?
M, of course.
Oh really?
Yes.
M is better for you?
Yes.
Okay, so good size for you.
Yep.
What do you think about the handlebars? These handlebars are a little bit more narrow than the wider handlebars on our hybrid bike.
More narrow is good for me.
Okay, you like the smaller, more narrow handlebars?
Yes.
What about the tires? Did you notice anything different? These tires are size 40 and our bike is size 35.
I don't know. I think same.
Okay, you feel the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. And brakes are pretty similar?
Yeah.
They're both hydraulic disc brakes.
And one more thing, the bike is quiet.
Quiet?
Yeah, quiet.
Yeah, so that's another big difference with the drive chain. It's actually a little hard to film this and show how quiet this is because it's very, very hard to find a quiet spot in Vietnam. There's always a loud bike or a loud vehicle passing by. But you can see as we pedal here, there's almost no sound. This system is super quiet. But on our hybrid bike with the chain system, so that's the sound difference. Completely different, way more quiet, and you don't have to deal with any of this nastiness. All right, now it's my turn to give this bike a little test ride. One of my favorite things with these bikes is you're able to shift before you start pedaling. So when you start your ride, you can put it in a nice, easy gear. One unfortunate thing with this bike is it is a size M, so it's a slightly too small for me. I'm not really able to get the full seat extension without getting a longer seat post, but that's all right. I'm just testing out the general handling and feel. And I mean, the first thing I notice is just how absolutely quiet this is. It's insane. Like not only the drive chain system, but everything. Our hybrid bike is a little bit louder because it has the chain. We've also got fenders which make noise on any kind of bump, but here, like, it doesn't matter. I go over anything, any bump, there's no sound. I'm pedaling, there's no sound. This thing is almost eerily quiet. But You won't really get to notice that benefit much here in Vietnam because there's just so much traffic here and it's a very loud country, but the loudest thing on this bike is when you shift and change the gears. But remember, you don't want to be pedaling when you do that. I did a few out of saddle efforts while Tuong was holding the camera. The bike feels good, solid, quick accelerations. The handling also feels really good. The geometry feels pretty good. I also do really like the width and style of these handlebars compared to the ones that we have on our bike. I think the ones on our bike are just a little bit too wide, and these ones are a little bit more practical. And it's actually kind of a disadvantage to have extra wide handlebars, like full-on mountain bike style wide handlebars when you're riding in traffic. So for a bike commuter bike, you don't want to have those extra wide handlebars because it just creates a more dangerous situation when you're riding in between traffic and cars and stuff. It helps to have that more narrow profile and be able to move in between vehicles. So overall, I'm very impressed with this bike. I'm really excited to have had this opportunity to test this bike out. This is my first time actually riding a bike from Marin. I've heard a lot of good things about their brand, and they do seem to be pretty popular here in Vietnam. I don't think you can really ask for a much better commuter bike around this price range. I mean, I used to be a daily bike commuter, commuting 2 hours every day to my job in Japan. The biggest thing that really annoyed me with bike commuting was just all the maintenance, and I really wanted a maintenance-free bike. That's why I really like single speeds, but these bikes are great too because you have the internal hub, you get extra gears, and this is better than a normal single speed because you don't have to worry about cleaning at all. This system can work in any kind of conditions, in mud, in snow, whatever, and I'm the kind of rider who likes to just ride his bike, and I don't really take as much care of my bike, so this is kind of you just finish your ride, park your bike, and then get back on your bike the next day and don't really worry about it kind of bike. And I don't think you can ask for much better specs in this price range. So overall, very impressed, and hopefully in the future we get some more opportunities to test out some more bikes from Marin. They seem to be a pretty cool bike company. And also a big thank you again to Eli for lending us this bike. He literally just ordered it, and before taking it out for a ride and stuff, he let us borrow it so we could show it to you guys in its brand new condition. So a big thank you to Eli. And also, before we go, we want to say a big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. Without your guys' support, we wouldn't be able to continue filming videos like this on our channel. So big thank you to you guys. And be sure to give the video a thumbs up before you go. Also, let us know if there's any other interesting bikes from Marin or other interesting bikes in general you'd like us to review. We'll see you guys next time here on Tubo Cruise.